Haven't we, horror?
Just a little bit.
'Tis the season to be stressed.
And busy.
And very busy.
Yes, Alex, I can hear you just fine.
And see, horror knows that I've been getting... I only know some of the shit that's been coming her way. But I shared what's been happening to me every week. A new person's mad at me for something.
You're good at that.
I am really good at that. And I find it hilarious.
Alex, do not step on my keyboard.
By the way, with that whole Denzel thing, I thought you'd find this funny. I'll explain in a minute. I did as they all said. I asked 3 different rooms of people. None related to the other. Only one person knew the movie. In all 3 rooms.
The funny thing is everybody here everybody I would talk to would know the movie.
And they were like, it was so funny to me that they were like, you need to get new people. I'm like, my brother's a movie buff. Like, he has an entire room dedicated to action, thriller, and horror. He's got an entire wall, a 30-foot wall, packed with not only VHS, but DVD of tons of action. He knows Denzel Washington films, and he agreed with me. He was like, that isn't even like his best film. Like, it's a good film, but if we're gonna go off at American Gangster, Book of Eli, Remember the Titans, any of the Equalizer films, that's why I was like, I was dying.
And you see, I would remember Man on Fire before I remember Book of Eli.
See, I didn't even know it existed.
But that's one of those things that
it's niche.
Just because you don't know it doesn't mean everybody else doesn't know it. And just because your group knows it doesn't mean another group doesn't know it. It's one of those, you can't objectively quantify how popular something like that is or isn't, because, you know, in some circles it's going to be big, and in other circles it's going to be non-existent. So I don't really like the argument of, well, I've never heard of it, because if you knew the number of times Sheep and I have been talking and he'll mention something and I'll go, what is that? And he'll look at me like I just threw a second head. It's just a thing. I mean, there's a lot of things basically from the year 2005 until about 2018. If it happened online, I probably don't know about it.
And that's my thing. It was like, number one, in case you guys are wondering, I pissed off one person from the Ripper crew and Lofty Pixels because there was some dude. Yeah. He has about that big. He's got an ego about that big though. And
hey, Bruce, I'm not going to let you talk down on Bruce. He's a nice guy.
You know, and honestly, he said I was a lonely, single, fat, pathetic woman.
Unfortunately, yes.
I'm sorry. You can like him all you want, but what the funniest thing is when I showed him my wedding photo, and I forgot what else I showed him. Instead of responding back, he just blocked me, and I was like,
I'm gonna be honest. You guys were arguing past each other,
right?
Neither of you stopped to listen to the other. Period.
Oh no, I listened.
No, you stuck to your point. You didn't listen to his.
Oh, it's you two again. Quiet, you. It was a matter of
Dragzilla.
Because I said to him, I said, fine, let's get past that point. What does it do with my original point? That's what I kept asking him. I was like, do you even know what the original point was about? And instead he kept clinging to trying to say that, you know, the other actors I compared him to were not good enough actors. And I'm like, dude, it's yeah. I was merely making a demonstration point where you probably don't know all Drew Barrymore and rom-com films, and you don't know those. But you're mad that I might not know all of these. And he's like, you can't compare the two. Everyone knows who Drew Barrymore is.
No, they don't. I can promise you I can find people who don't know who Drew Barrymore is.
But that's my point.
Can't say everyone knows something. And that's my problem with the argument in general. Not everyone knows anything.
Well, what I'm talking about is in the case of he's saying that she's not big in Hollywood. That's how he was making it sound. That she's a nobody in Hollywood. And I'm like, you can't say that. Maybe people don't know she exists that are out there in the world. But that was my whole point. And that was my original point to Lofty as well. Do you know the entire history of MLP Generation 4? No. And if I asked you something that you can't say it wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't impactful to someone. It spawned conventions, it spawned entire movements, entire movies, it spawned whole swaths of people online by the millions hosting different contests. But I can acknowledge most people won't know it. That, for lack of a better term, normies wouldn't know it. You have to be some kind of nerd, some kind of geek, and you have to really enjoy specifically kids' cartoons. Not even like cartoons. You gotta enjoy, you gotta at least have watched Steven Universe, Gumball. You have to have watched something like that. It doesn't make it any less impactful. It didn't make it less iconic. It just wasn't iconic to the entire planet.
Iconic is one of those things I hate, because what really makes something iconic?
I think it's definitely nuance and context. What's iconic to somebody that knows opera is not iconic to someone that knows metal. What's iconic to somebody in the animal circles will not be iconic to someone who's in the car circles. Like, if I brought up Ferrari, there is at least someone on the planet that has no idea what a fucking Ferrari is. But they're an iconic car. But they might not know what they are. So that's how I would say iconic is merely in the circle that they're in, or in the context that it's in. It is one of the top tier. It is the pinnacle, one of the best. When you bring it up, there's a large swath of that group of people that are going to know what you're talking about. I would say that would be iconic. Like, in terms of teen movies, Mean Girls is iconic. Now, in terms of,
depends on what generation you grew up in, but
right. But we're talking, like, we're just saying teen movies, plain and simple, and specifically if you say teen movies of the 2000s, absolutely, that is an iconic film. And I mean, that's Walmart's entire freaking campaign this year is Mean Girls, which, by the way, I would pay to see that movie. And so, I'm sorry, I would rather watch the Walmart version of them doing an entire Black Friday advertisement than whatever this remake, sequel, whatever the fuck it's gonna be is.
Oh yeah, I mean, and as for your argument, because I basically, like I told you before, I basically had the same argument with Lofty. It's too soon to be remaking that movie. A movie should not be remade until it's come out of the cultural consciousness. So if I can remember, if I, of all people who is not a movie person, can remember that movie, I didn't even see the movie, but I knew the movie existed. Does it really need to be remade?
That's my point. And that's the point I was trying to make. Take a shit movie that no one remembers or that a lot of people didn't see. Fine. Nobody cares. Which is exactly what happened with Man on Fire. And it was a decent movie when it was made in 2004. It is not going down in the annals of history and everyone. That is the top 10 movies you had to see. That being said, the reason why nobody cared was because it wasn't that big a deal. You take a shit movie, like, for instance, everyone keeps saying with Disney, you want to remake something? Go remake Treasure Planet. Go remake Atlantis.
No, don't do that. Don't do that either.
Well, they're saying it because these are movies that did horrible and deserve a renaissance. That's what they're trying to say. I'm not saying I want it.
The old one. It's still good.
Right. But what I am saying is that would at least make more sense. You know what I'm saying? Remake Star Wars.
No.
Big T, I will block you for the day.
Technically, they already tried to do that. Shut that up.
They did it already.
No, they can't do that, Annie. That's not allowed. You do not touch Monty Python.
There are some things you don't say around here, young lady. Now that is blasphemy.
You don't touch. I don't care. I don't care what you try to do with it. You do not touch Monty Python.
James and the Giant Peach, how dare you?
I like James and the Giant Peach.
That was a nightmare fuel the first time around. This time,
no, that's why it's great.
Non-binary. You do it this time around. It's gonna be a non-binary, trigender. The bugs are gonna have, like,
Well, and they'll get rid of the fat aunt because she's
be fat phobic.
And
but hello, Joker J. By the way, guys, if you are on my side, which I see some of you are, Go over, if you're gonna lurk, whatever, go on to horrors. She needs the watch hours. Big T's doing it.
They already tried. As far as oh my God, those were both terrible.
You can't remake those films. The reason why they worked in the 80s is because back then the technology was worse. And as a result, because the technology was worse, it actually looked better. When you do that kind of shit with better technology, especially when you're remaking something that was already iconic, it don't work.
I will say, I do think that they could be remade. However, the difficulty isn't with finding, in Nightmare on Elm Street's specific case, the problem isn't with the effects. It's finding somebody who could do at least as good as Robert Englund, and that ain't happening. That's the problem. You are not going to find somebody who can actually play Freddy. That is Robert Englund's role. I don't care. And Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th could totally be done. It could be rebooted, but that's because the character, that movie's not about Jason's personality.
I agree on that. But my thing at this point, I feel like at this point, it's like you said, it's not out of the like if they remade White Christmas, right?
I would shoot them.
You're getting my point though. But a lot of people don't know the movie. But there's certain movies you should never remake. So like Singing in the Rain, A Wizard of Oz, Snow White. But that's mine.
Now you see, Snow White's totally fair game because that's a fairy tale and has been redone many times and deserves as many renditions as people, as long as they want to stick to the actual story as it can get. Now,
I don't want Disney to do it. I'm telling anyone else doing it. I don't want Disney doing it.
At this point, I want Disney to just die. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And this is a part of the problem we have today more than anything is that people are too afraid to let go of old media, old companies, old everything. Fact of the matter is everything dies eventually and it makes way for new and better stuff. So stop letting the government of all things keep these things alive on life support and continuing to feed us shit.
Well, I will say this, when it comes to Disney, the government actually cut ties.
The government in Florida, yeah. I mean, we don't know what the feds give them, and we know the feds are giving them money.
That is very true. True. But
and not to mention when they do things like make their movies in Georgia, or make their movies in Canada, or make their movies in China, they get huge tax discounts, all sorts of stuff that allows them to do that for. Well, I mean, basically, it's a money laundering process. But
I give you a hug. What's wrong? Also, guys, you have now answered the unspoken question. If you ever want to see horror, actually talk. Bring this up. I finally broke the algorithm. I figured it out.
Get me started on. There are things that there are things that'll get me to talk a lot. Most of them just happen to be positive.
I can't. Yo, but there was a lot that happened to me these last 2 weeks, and as a result, because I had to do the whatchamacallit. I had to do the appraisal for the house. Came in way less than Zillow said.
Nice.
Zillow said my house was like $189K. It's like $140. So
nice. That's a $40 or $40,000 saving.
Right. Well, I mean, we're technically buying for $120, so no matter what, no savings. But
still, that's. Well, wait. Was this tax appraisal or
this was the appraiser for like we're
for the loan? Okay.
Yeah, we're hoping that this is settled. Am I moving to Michigan? Not only no, but no. And I say that in a very caring way. And I say it with love. No, whatchamacallit. I see, I don't know if I'm gonna bring it up tomorrow or not. A friend, I don't know if you guys remember last October, I told you all, and I think I brought it up to you, Horror. One of my very close friends just up and blocked me out of nowhere. She blocked me on everything. I told you about this, right?
Wait, is this the one who blocked you and then unblocked you and messaged you, or? The one who just,
messaged
if
me.
it's someone who just blocked you, then you haven't told me
She
about this.
just
But
blocked me. It was
okay, yeah.
yeah. This was right before you and I really started doing the show, because you and I did it in February, and this happened last October.
Okay.
Now some of my OG followers, especially Esteban has been there for everything. He'll probably remember. I got a message from her tonight. Hey Cass, I love you and I miss you. And I'm like, I don't even respond to that. I go, excuse me, I'm confused. Like, that's how I started the conversation. I was like, you blocked me everywhere. Why? Like, I did. Long story short, we're friends again.
Oh.
I don't want to reveal too much, but let's just say she cut off roughly 267 pounds of dead weight. So wonderful.
Nice. Congratulations to her.
Living a beautiful life now. And then as for animal portion, again, horror got to see what happens when you do too much for people. And they can't. This is why I truly believe if you cannot care for your own animals, again, long story short, somebody got mad because right now my boss is sick. She got out of surgery this morning. Okay.
Okay.
So everything went beautifully. Everything went great. She is actually resting. She's drugged out of her
my
mind.
God. Well, that's about the only way they would get her to rest is the drugs. So
I told her husband, I said, chain her to the fucking bed. Don't let her get up.
Sounds like what I'd have to do with my mother. Oh my God.
Some females, you just don't want to stop. StarMorata, you better cool your jets and relax if you need to. But anyways,
she's literally had a dog. Oh, I'm sorry to repeat, but I got to tell this. So during COVID, the doctor literally, she went in because she was feeling sick. She didn't actually have COVID, but the doctor's like, since you came in here, keep telling you got to rest, but now I got to tell you to quarantine for 2 weeks.
See, that's me as a doctor. Oh, I would relish in that. I would love watching the light fade from their eyes as they hear they have to rest.
She came home. She was not happy with him that day.
Sorry, StarMorata, but that's hilarious. That's beautiful. Whatchamacallit. No, but like I was saying, oh my God. I love you. Don't hurt me. Somebody that did me a favor back in the day. Good night, Big T. Sleep tight. Text you tomorrow. No problem. I will hopefully remember to text back. I'm really bad about it. So it's true, especially since I got my new phone. So I try to take a little mental breather, and there's a lot of alerts that are not on this phone, which is why I don't have the phone on silent. You can hear my texting in the distance. That's my old phone because I don't have any alerts off on it. And it goes off all day long. This, I know it only goes off if I get an actual text message. Oh, you had a big fight tonight? I'm sorry, honey. We'll talk about it. Tell me about it after. I know you don't want to. That's a lot of. Don't air it out here, babe, because you know that'll end up bad later. But tell me about it later. But whatchamacallit? She again, and Faye knows who I'm talking about too. I sent them both the messages, and I made sure to send them the messages and not post anything on Facebook for this exact reason, because this person wanted me to give them attention. They still haven't deleted me, by the way, and now they're liking all of my posts and stories, which I think is funny as hell. This person, I have helped clean their house. I have consistently for the last 5 years, at the drop of a dime, and I mean literally, like, I'm going to work and I get, hey, can you let my dogs out tonight? Hey, go feed all my animals. Hey, 8 o'clock at night, I'm getting the message. Can you go feed all this? Gotta sleep soon, getting wisdom teeth. Ooh. Well, you get some rest, honey, and I'll be available. Like, I'll send you a message. You tell me what's going on in the message. We'll talk. We'll talk, babe. But she asks me to do her a favor the week before Christmas. The whole week. And this would involve me getting up early, going to bed late, skipping out feeding all these animals, skipping out time with my husband, because I work doubles now. Because with my boss under the weather, and she's on bed rest, she is on ordered bed rest till after Christmas, which I doubt she's going to listen to, but
Gonna try to make her anyway.
We're gonna try our best. Tiny Asian ladies, they're tough. And whatchamacalls it? I tell her, with everything going on right now, with me trying to buy the house, with me working doubles, having a staff relying on me, I have events coming up. I also have to completely plan the company Christmas party. There's stuff going on with me and my husband. I have literally accumulated more animals. You guys know I have Sunny and Luna now. There's fights going on. Nova has been randomly losing weight. I don't think I told you all that. She's been throwing up a lot lately. She's been losing a lot of weight. I got a lot going on. So I kindly apologize and say I can't do it. She comes back at me. And long story short, tells me that I'm being selfish. Mind you, this is a completely voluntary thing. She's leaving. She has almost as many animals as I do. She wants to leave them all to go to a completely voluntary thing, states away. And when I told her, I do all this for you all the time, you need to get over it, she pretty much told me again that I was just being selfish and, oh, well, I just won't bother you anymore. I haven't said a word since. And I'm telling you this, guys, this holiday season, pay attention to people like this. And don't let them continue into the new year. It's 2024 soon, kids. We're going to get rid of this toxicity. And so, go ahead. I know you got an opinion.
Oh, no. You know my opinion already.
Yeah.
Have fun, Sleazy. You're going to... He's out in the Philippines area. Ooh. On the other side of the world, enjoying some fun, and while he's trying to call us degenerates, I know he's over there being just way more degenerate than we could ever dream. It's just the person he is.
Exactly, I mean, what he's doing out there.
Look at his name. But I hope he's happy.
Shameless plug, by the way, guys. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. So, yes. This, right? You could see I did a little bit of a shoddy job. Kitchen shears do not do what my normal clothing shears do, but they're somewhere. Calliope keeps knocking shit everywhere. I couldn't find it. So I did a cute little short on my YouTube. You guys can go see it. It's my most recent short.
It's a very cute short. I watched it like 3 times.
It featured you, and I featured Greta in it, right? Because originally I was going to do me going back to me, but I was like, you know, it'd be really cute if I include one of the dogs. And it took me forever because, oh my God, someone do better than me at this. I had Orion sit in the back, and I was trying to direct Greta. And then I switched it up, and I put Greta in the back, and I tried to direct Orion. Orion would listen for roughly 5 minutes. And then he just marched forward and tried to take the tree out of my hand anyway. Greta, every time I would say Orion there, she'd walk forward. I'm like, bitch, I wasn't saying you. I swear to God, I've got like 13-second videos of me trying to get them to do something cute. Finally, I was like, this one's good enough. Because I wanted to get the short done. But anyway, so I did it. One person got mad at me for cutting it at all. Don't do that. You shouldn't be cutting your shirts. It makes them look cheap.
It's your shirt.
It's my shirt, first of all. Second of all, do you see these bazabos? She knows what I'm talking about. The shirt's right up. How many times you guys see me like this and I have to go like this and yank them down and tuck them below the titas? See, she just did it. It's the big tit movement. Everyone knows it. You got big boobs.
They bounce and the fabric goes. It's why I can't sleep in a shirt. So,
oh my God, to all you females that sleep in clothing, how I hate you. You make me sick. No,
wake up being strangled by my own clothing.
Oh my God. Back when I was like a preteen and a teen and I had to wear clothes while sleeping because obviously you're a kid, your parents might come in. I also had the 3 feet of hair. Oh, the amount of times I woke up in a panic attack with my hair wrapped around my neck. And then, of course, I made the brilliant idea when I was roughly 13, 14 years old that I was going to wear as many necklaces as I could. And I still to this day do not know. I think I thought I was being quirky. So I had like at least 10 or 15 necklaces, some real gold, some those stainless steel hemp numbers, some not chokers. And you see, here's what happens when you wear that whole number in the middle of your sleep and your hair is still getting tangled.
Oh
It then
God.
proceeds to get tangled in the necklaces too.
Ugh.
And so I'd wake up and I would literally be like this. And I'm like, so after about, I think, 6 or 7 months of me stubbornly going through that, I finally gave up and said, you know what? No more. And I migrated to just these. And I've been wearing them ever since. Now, sometimes I used to wear this and the cross. And when my mom died, I wore my mom. And as a matter of fact, I think I can show you guys. She better be over here. I keep her hidden for this reason. Here it is. I have to keep her hidden because the animals keep. Ever since Calliope came out of the crate, oh my God, it's so bad. So here's my mom. And I stopped wearing her. And this is her cross. So that was
Oh,
her
sweet.
cross. I stopped wearing her because, and as you all know, I lost my engagement, which I never have lost in the almost 12 years I've had it. I kept getting terrified that this little tiny fingernail amount of ashes of my mother that I might lose. And my dad at first got mad at me that I wasn't wearing it anymore. I'm like, do you understand that's an actual physical piece of my mom? I am terrified that somehow she's gonna go away. So she stays in her little velvet pouch because she was extra. And she stays right over here beside my megalodon teeth because she's old. Somewhere she's telling me to shut the fuck up. We belong to the itty bitty titty committee. Listen, that's no excuse. Your shirt still would ride up. I don't understand it. But yeah. And the other person, the real humdinger of a comment that I just thought was so hilarious because honestly, all it took was 2 seconds of looking on my profile, literally, barely even that, to understand what you saw. Where is it? Where he at? I don't get why you think people want to see this shit. Go get some friends. Go get some family in your life because we all know that you ain't got that shit if you posting a video like this. And I said, oh, baby. You do see that it's my merch, right? Like, this is an advertisement. I made the shirts. Imagine saying no one cares while caring enough to comment and not noticing I have 12,000 subs. He never said anything after that.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
I know, it's crazy. Oh, and then my last small adventure. I see a sheep butt. Oh, she muted. My last small adventure. A pit bull just appeared on my property this morning. Very sweet boy. I had to not take him in. Because one, I have no idea if he was going to enjoy cats as a side snack. And two, I didn't want Orion to enjoy him as a side snack. So, uh-oh, they lost something.
Yeah, I bought a new tube of lipstick and it's been bugging me because I can't find it.
Did you leave it in your purse?
No.
What kind of debauchery is on your shirt, Chief?
Would you like to show her your shirt, honey?
Not really.
I see debauchery.
I mean, it's got to be around here somewhere. It's okay, baby. I was just wondering if you'd seen it since I was thinking about it.
It's not.
It might be. That's part of why I'm going through this. But
What color did you pick? What did you buy?
So I'm a member of an MLM specifically so that I can get the discount on the stuff. And I bought, let me see if I can pick out the shade on here real quick. Because, you know, I've got a lot. I do actually have a lot of lipstick, but I don't have any subtle colors. Like, most of my lipstick is bright red or dark purple or...
I mean, you've got the right skin tone for all that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wanted something just a little more natural.
Do you think I should?
Should
I
what?
don't know if I'd look good with a nude.
I think you'd be okay. But I wanted something just a little more pink,
Yeah.
as opposed to bright. Jesus Christ, where is it? Oh, I can't find what page it's on.
Oh, it's Mother Mary. Mother Mary. Oh, see, Esteban, you know what I mean. Like, you keep those things. Now, I will say this. Now that we know my brother's having a little girl, and clearly the chances of me ever having a child are minimal, more than likely at some point, I'm going to give that to my niece. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for me to have any inheritance stuff at this point. Like, it should all go to Philip and Jilly's kids. Is that bittersweet? Yeah. Is it a little hard to say? Absolutely.
It hurts to say, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I think you look perfect in How dare you?
Well, someone had to say it.
All right. Well, what can I say? But hello, Mitchell. By the way,
what was one of these? No, where's the thing? It'll tell me. Which kind of?
Did you get a large bag of shopping, and maybe it's in that?
No, because it came in the mail.
Oh.
So I got like 4 items. And 5 items if you count the. And so it's around here somewhere, unless of course my dog ate it. Which, it's Sydney, and it's a possibility. We won't even talk about the amount of shit that dog has eaten lately. Despite the fact you would think that after over a year, he would be over that. This breed seems to have a longer than normal chew period, especially if he's bored. If he's bored, then this dog has an insane kind of oral fetish is about the best way I can possibly describe it, because that's what it is. Everything has to go in his mouth. And everything does go in his mouth.
YouTube.
Where are we? But anyway, so that's what we've been dealing with. I accidentally, so for the last 6 months, no, for the last year, I've been making sure I pick up my shoes and put them on the other side of the gate so that he can't get to them while I'm in bed. Forgot to do that the other night. Thankfully, I found my shoe before he ate it.
Orion destroyed one of my favorite boots. Like, they're technically still wearable, but he destroyed it right in the right spot where they don't lace up properly anymore.
You remember that pair of slippers I bought myself? He ate them.
The expensive ones?
Yeah, that I got for $30 because I was smart. He ate them.
I'm very blessed. It's not my dogs that bother my shoes. Let me remind you guys. I'll give you a quick crash course in who bothers my shoes. Because we all know a dog wouldn't do this.
Oh, and he ate my sleep mask. If it smells like me and I leave it laying around, he will eat it.
See, this is the difference between dogs and cats. Dogs eat them. Cats piss on it. You leave anything that smells like me around, the animals will pee on it. Mainly the anxiety-ridden ones. And it's so annoying. It is so annoying. But
oh, yeah. This isn't it. No, this can't be it because that's
Matt.
Okay.
Bring me the red child. You've always got a cat on you. Please bring me the red child.
In that house, is it possible to not have a cat?
Right. Of all houses. And the thing is, he always makes that excuse as if there's only one cat that I did not ever want to move, and that's Penny. But even then, if I gotta get up, and that's just because Penny is so anxiety-ridden. She's right now going through her bold phase. So anxiety animals have cycles. And it depends on how severe the anxiety is and how it manifests. In animals like Penny, it manifests in a couple different cycles. She will go through feeling very scared and starving herself. She will go through tearing her, like she just got out of tearing herself up. Her entire, from her rib cage back, her fur is down to fluff because she ripped out all the fur. And she gut out of. Somebody wants to know the breed of your dog.
My dog is a beaver terrier.
And the thing is, it's definitely a working class dog problem because Orion is going to be. Shit, his birthday just passed. No, it's tomorrow. It's today now. Today's Orion's birthday, Matt. Orion just turned 6.
Mm.
And he's still fucking doing it. He is a massive chewer, and the more bored he is, the worse it gets. And he's a pit bull. Well,
I bought Sydney one of these.
The red child. Oh, he did get a new bed. Oh, I see what you got. These things are phenomenal.
Except I put it on the ground.
Uh-huh.
And he was afraid of it.
No!
He went up to it and he's sniffing it. And you know how they are. They get really close and then they sniff. And then he would jump back like it was trying to attack him. And then go close to it again. And then someone would move in the house and he'd jump back. It was hilarious.
No.
But yeah, I got him one of those. And I know he'll get used to it eventually.
Right.
But you know, just to put that down in front of him, and he's like it's like he could still smell the sheep that was attached to it or something.
Right.
And he was just so freaked out. It was just funny.
Do you guys know who this is?
Oh, he's gotten so big.
Hasn't he? He said, "Duck a boy here. I'll put you down this way so everyone can see you." Yeah. He has gotten so big. He's got these big old paws. My Dante. We still have to be careful not to let him interact with the other cats because they have not been able to get vaccinated yet because that's a lot of fucking money right now. Total it's going to cost me to get the kittens completely vaccinated and fixed. It's going to cost me like $700 or $800.
Yeah.
But that's to get all 3 of them fixed, all 3 of them vaccinated, and their whatchamacallit. I can talk, I swear. No, you ain't getting down. Microchipped, all that jazz. But I know.
I mean, realistically, for 3 cats, that's not a terrible price. It's just a lot of meal at once. It's
not because I'm not going to do their vaccinations all at once. But the problem is even doing it $200 and some odd at a pop right now, when all my extra money is supposed to be going to the deposit on the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. No, you're not going anywhere, sir. You're staying right here with me. Don't make me have to run back in there and put you back in the crate already. You do so well, usually everywhere else. So, I have been apparently told that this is old news, but have you heard what's going around Twitter about Shane Dawson?
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, yeah, the stuff that came out is old news. It's not new stuff. It's stuff people know already.
But this is my ultimate question. If this was well known, this has been well known, why was he not, after telling a story like that, taken off the platform? Why was he allowed to be anything? In case none of you know, I'm going to be as least graphic as possible. Shane Dawson gratified himself in a sex manner on top of a cat. He put her on her back, spread her little legs. Nothing went in anything, thank God.
That we know of.
And he erupted all over her. Penny just screamed in disgust. Thank you, Penny. And I was like, I'm reading this and I was like, this is real. And then when I shared it on Twitter, everyone's like, you didn't know? And we go right back to what we're talking about. No, I didn't know. I didn't even know who Shane Dawson was until Blair White began to cut ties with him. I don't know who Shane Dawson is. He was that gay guy that did all that stuff with Jeffree Star, that pig-themed makeup. Apparently,
he's done more than that. But I mean, the cat thing is just one of the many things Shane Dawson's done. Yes, Sydney. I don't care. I want everybody to see you.
Matthew,
As you stick your
what's
foot
your
in my face. I
ETA?
don't appreciate that.
Because Dante is getting antsy.
He's not going to let me do this.
You just want to show him off and he's not being helpful. Get the horn. I found out about that and I was just full. Like, when I tell you horror, I was floored. I'm like, how? How has this not been like spread over and over and over again and really spoken about?
I mean, that's the thing. It has on YouTube drama channels. So if you're not looking at YouTube drama channels, more than likely you're not going to hear about it. Despite being who I am and the type of person I am, actually because of the type of person I am, I have this strange desire to watch these absolute dumpster fires of people.
Do you watch the Kardashians?
I do not. No. I draw my line there. I watch YouTube drama channels talking about YouTube drama. So I know more than I probably should.
What is it, Dante? Don't you
Oh, look at that face as he turns off the mic.
Yeah.
And there he goes again, turning it off. He doesn't want us to hear you.
Look at that face.
Oh.
He's so damn cute. I hate it. It's disgusting.
He has gotten so big.
I know. Him and Gorian, but Atticus, I found out something new, and I don't know why I'm acting like I shouldn't have known about this. Atticus only has one testicle.
Yeah, that happens.
And I've never seen it. And because not to say that I was staring at my cats.
Hey, Tumby.
But I was staring at my cats because I was like, something don't look right. Are we sure he's a boy? Because this one been trying to mate with his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Like he walk around and again, I knew it's one of those things where obviously as an animal rescuer, someone else asks you these questions. You're like, oh, that's obvious. That's what's happening. This is what's going on. And then when it happens right in front of you, you're like, Nani? So Dante over here, no. You cannot chase Sunny. No. We're pretty sure he and Sunny are related. And because they came from the same area, they have similar meows, similar look, all that shit. When Sunny comes and sits in front of their crate, this one, he just like stretches out as far as he can to try to touch him. And Sunny's right out of range. But,
Rachel has a very important question for you, Starsun. She wants to know where you get such an amazing shirt like the one you're wearing.
Oh, why, thank you for asking. Let me show you. It's at this wicked cool place called starshawnshop.fourthwall.com. I can provide that link for you right here. Hold on. Isn't it lovely? And you too can customize your own collars. I will not be mad.
Talk to your dog about it first, though.
Yeah. You have to make sure, let your dog know, and then on top of that, double check with the entirety of YouTube to see if they want to see the short and don't post about it, But whatchamacalls it? I am trying right now to see if I can get colorful water bottles, because I have been requested when I first talked about the Water Lives Matter or the Water Lovers Matter. Mm-hmm. Everyone was like, you should put that on multicolored bottles. Fourth Wall only has white and black bottles, and I'm like,
can you put a multicolored design on said white and black bottles?
I wanted the white letter on like multiple colors. Like that's what I wanted. I have a vision. Speaking of vision, this girl been making some pretty pictures for me. Well, not for me, but sending them to me to look at. And I just want to say they're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm still working a little. But yeah, I want to do a separate channel where I've been reading the fables and everything for on Thursday nights on my YouTube. And I've been going between Lovecraft and Aesop's fables right now. And I want to take the Aesop's fables, and I'm going to have to reread a bunch of them, but I want to make a cute little character like my uh, avatar, a cute little avatar like my regular one, but not
Mhm.
obviously Lovecraftian, and read them and put those up on that channel.
I think it'd be so cute. I definitely think it's gonna look adorable. And again, you've got that voice for it.
That's what I've been told. But then I'm going to do another channel where I read all the scary stuff for adults. Because the other one's going to be, I'm actually going to make it a kids channel.
I think it's gonna look really well. Just make sure because he loves this microphone. What? What? You silly, silly boy. Yeah?
No, he's after it.
He's after it. I don't know what you guys are hearing, but he's having a ball right now. Yeah? Do you like the colors? Huh? What? Here, hold on, let me raise it up. There you go, so they can see. Well, you're the one fucking up with it.
That's not Sinbad.
No, this is Dante, guys. That's the kittens. This is how big they've gotten. If you see them next to each other, you'll realize they don't look the same at all.
Yeah, Sinbad's more
Tan.
brown toned.
He's very pale in comparison.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's more of a genuine orange.
I'll have Matt bring me. He likes to chase his tail. Yeah, you get your tail. Oh, someone yelled at me on YouTube about this too.
About letting your cat chew his tail?
No, because what I do is with Dante, I do this.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're abusing him. He clearly doesn't like it. Stop playing so rough with him." I'm like,
"What are you on drugs?"
Like, people are fucking ridiculous, and I say it all the time. People get mad at me no matter what.
Now you see that? You stop doing it. He's doing it to himself. Yeah, he really hates it.
I know he's just, what? Gonna get it? Gonna get it? Oh, you're so tough. You're so tough. Who's so tough? Are you so tough? You're so tough. I love these damn kittens so much. They have been such a joy. Yeah. And what's that? Do you hear Daddy?
Look at those pretty eyes.
He's so cute. Can you put him back in with his brothers? Do you think Gorian will sit still long enough?
Probably not.
Can you bring me Sinbad instead? Hi, La Luna. Come here. No one's getting fed, bitch. She just circled around because she thought Matt was filling up bowls. Luna.
Of course.
Come here. La Luna. Screw it.
Yeah, Mad Gent, that's literally what it is. I'm actually surprised because I just got Sydney a martingale instead of a choker. And
totally abusive.
Well, and I'm really surprised that nobody stopped and yelled at me for using a choker on him.
Who dis? That's Athena. And I hear Penny yelling. I need my sand caddy. That's Luna. That's not who I asked for.
Can you help me?
She doesn't jump off.
My dogs will do that.
Because the kitten's crate is on the floor. And you see, this is what Luna does. If she thinks that food is involved and she's going to be able to get it, she will push her way through. So what we've been doing to solve the Nova problem is we have been putting her in one of the crates that we originally had Sunny or Luna in with a bowl. She has to eat the whole bowl because what we found is she has been overeating. So first she gets herself worked up if the food is even a little late. Now she starts meowing and yowling, and then she starts over grooming. Then she starts gagging up the fur she's got. Great. So now she's puking up just fur and whatever. Hi, Sinbaddy. This is Sinbad, guys.
Yep.
The size difference alone. Look at how fucking huge this boy is. No, you just came in. You don't get to escape yet. So now you see the difference. Yes, Dante got big, but he ain't Sinbad big yet.
And he's definitely not the same color.
No. You're just two shady red boys. No. See, this is what I do. I train my cats to deal with this. So when I do have kids around, I can do all this. And if I happen to have my eyes off of kids for even a minute, a cat's not going to claw them.
You hope.
You hope.
It's never a guarantee, folks.
There was this video on the dog group, and this girl she had this dog, right? She had this dog beside her, and she was going. And the dog was kind of tolerating it, but then the dog went like this. And she went to lean in again, and he snapped right at her face.
Yep.
She was lucky. She did not get bitten, but she had the audacity to get mad at him. I have a simple solution, sweetheart. Don't go kissing the faces of dogs. You don't know. And don't go smushing your face into the face of a dog you didn't train to take it. Because, like, today, a dog showed up on my property. Very sweet dog. Cute as a button. Absolutely adorable. Pissed all over my fucking porch. And he kept trying to sniff my face. Now, while every animal lover fiber of my being was going, yes, baby, let me give you kisses, because he had the most boopable of noses. I resisted all temptation. I was very proud of me.
Very good.
Dogs and cats are animals. They live on instinct, respect their space. Exactly, which is why I put myself in that dangerous situation by training my animals for it. Every animal I have, you can reach into their bowl. You can take the food from them. You can take the food out of their mouths, and you can put your face right in their face. And most of the cats, you can put your face in their belly. The reason I did this was, one, you should condition your animals. When your animals have to go to the vet, when your animals have to have something done to them, they need to understand that they're not in danger. One of the reasons animals act like that, and it is like what they said, if you they will see it as a threat. So this is what Polar Knight said, and this is what the Mad Gentleman said. I 100% agree. If you did not train your animals for it, if you did not personally take the time to desensitize your animal, then you should not be putting your face in their face.
No, it's like period. When I have a litter of puppies, one of the first things I do as I'm raising them, I blow in their faces. Because most dogs will snap if you blow in their face. If I actually, funny story, and there's absolutely nothing rude about it, Polar Knights. You're more than welcome to comment. We appreciate it.
It's not rude at all.
So back in the 90s, I had he was a Samoyed mix. His mother was had been a beautiful white purebred Samoyed. Her owners were idiots, and after they bred her, left her in the backyard on a rope while in heat. So, had this mixed litter of absolutely, just puppies that you had no idea what they were. But my mother's, they were going to drown them. My mother took them and found them homes. And we kept one of them. His name was Winston. He was a black. You could tell there was some lab in him. You could tell there was some Samoyed in him. You could tell there was some German Shepherd in him. And he had this big, broad chest. And despite only being a medium-sized dog, he would pull an adult man off his feet if he really got going. But we move up here. We're living happily. We had a nice, big, fenced front yard. And our next-door neighbor had a tendency to get drunk. One night, his car breaks down next to the bar, and he takes this as a sign. And he goes off, and he has himself some drinks and walks himself home. And as he's walking by, Winston's out in the front yard barking. And so what does the man do? He leans over the fence and blows in Winston's face. And what do you think happened?
Karma.
He bit the man's nose off. The man lost his nose that night.
Good. I'm sorry, but good.
And for the record, human flesh apparently gives dogs terrible farts because his wife came out shortly after, was looking for this because of course he called the hospital, the paramedics and everything, but she was out there with a glass of water looking for the rest of his nose. uh Never found it. Now the only reason poor Winston didn't get put down was for one, he had all his vaccinations. For two, the sheriff came in and he was trying his hardest to get that dog to do anything to him. He couldn't even get him to jump up on him because he was a very good dog.
So you mean it's almost as if that was an actual person that is in the police force that was judging a dog based on its actions instead of just one particular instance where usually it's humans that cause the problem.
Exactly. So he, we did have to quarantine him for a period of time. But after that, there was no problems with him. And of course, we didn't have any other issues because nobody else came by and blew in our dog's face. So, but the guy lost half his nose in that situation. That is why when I started raising puppies, one of the first thing I started to do, other than, I handle them almost from the moment they're born. But, I've all my dogs, you can blow in their face. Do you know what they'll do? They'll squint at you. Some of them, a couple of them, will lean into you. Sophie, if you blow on her face, she will actually push her body into your face.
Greta does that. Okay, so when I do it to Greta, I was waiting for you to finish so I could say that. When I do it to Greta, I go, and she like shoves her head as hard, like the side of her head or the top of her head into my mouth to stop it. And it's so freaking cute. Orion doesn't give a shit. Orion, if I do it, typically he's like, "Oh, that tastes delicious," and he'll just try to lick the inside of my mouth. As a matter of fact, I will say this: so, if you have a dog that has skin conditions, and Orion, being a pit bull as he is, and having very short, sharp hair, Orion gets. I didn't even know this was a thing. I thought I was just imagining it, or that it was just with my trick coming in. So I tricked up. I don't ever know how to say it, but pretty much it's a
Trichotillomania?
where you pick at stuff, right?
Yeah, trichotillomania.
So when you overpop zits, you pick at scabs, you overpull hairs. I actually have that. I have a very minor case of it, but with the dogs, it crosses over into the animals as well. And so when Orion's got a zit, Orion will no longer have that zit. And for a while, Greta was great. I could pop them no problem, but then she stopped getting them for ages. But Orion, in the last year, he had 2 years where he had none. And then last year, he's developed like out of nowhere. His entire back end was covered.
You were saying.
Yeah, I remember telling you guys about it. His back end was covered in zits for like ages. He's still coming out of it, but all here has pimples. I have him to the point where he will lay completely still. The only time he will fight me is like, so he gets these things between his toes where the impacted hairs are, and they are so bad, and I understand they hurt him. But in order to get him taken out, it would cost me like $500 at the vet. I can lance them myself. And I have a whole entire kit where I can take care of it. I've taken care of cysts and things like that. Not that I am saying that this is a recommended veterinary thing to do. This is what I do. Mainly because Orion damages his paws and claws so much. I would literally be broke taking him to the vet. It is much easier to take care of these things on my own. And my dog is just fine because he doesn't go outside a lot. He stays in a very clean environment. So all is well. I have him where he will lay down, and I literally have him now on the wait signal. And I go, wait, no. And I was pulling because I didn't know that dogs get impacted hairs. And I also found out pigs can get it too. In their teeth. If you've never seen it, guys, I don't know if I can show it on here just because it's outside of what I normally show. If you are someone that is fascinated by animal husbandry, look up impacted hair in hogs' teeth. I found it by accident when I was trying to figure out how to help Orion with the thing in his toe, and I was absolutely floored. But he gets them all right here. He gets them all on his elbows, between his toes, on his chin. And so Starman made the executive decision because the problem is that occurs when your dog's joints are getting a little too impacted with the ground. Now they have beds, but they're not soft enough. So Starman made the executive decision that we needed a memory foam bed, which I was not upset about. I've been saying for years I wanted to get the dogs a brand new, really nice bed, but it's difficult to get. And so, I might have to use the ladies' room soon. So Starman, while the streamer was talking to someone, he didn't realize there was a woman coming up from behind. What? I remember that I was only reading the second part, not the first. I remember a streamer that took his dog to the park because he was acting weird that day. He didn't realize there was a woman coming up behind to pet the dog while it was growling at her. If your dog is acting weird, do not take it out of the house. Because that could mean the dog is having a very off day. And when your dog is having an unpredictable off day, they're going to act unpredictable. It was streamed live. Ugh.
That poor dog.
What happened to the dog?
I mean, thing is when your dog's acting weird, there's a good chance they're in pain or there's something else going on. When they're in pain or they're not feeling well, they're more likely to lash out.
There's Orion on the new bed. They curled right up onto it. Greta has her little brown bed because she loves it so much. If you're wondering what that blue thing is, it's because I heard once that if there's an outlet, it can cause an arc and electrocute your animals in their sleep. But this is the best place to put the crates, so I put a plastic cover over the outlets that way.
Makes sense.
No problems had. I'll be right back. Horror, entertain the masses.
I hate it when she does this to me. She always leaves off where there's nothing to talk about, so I have to come up with something to talk about. It's not easy.
Tell her again about Man on Fire, guys.
I don't care about Man on Fire. I don't. But Mad Jen is going to see if he can find the dog streamed thing, but I can't show it on stream. I can just read it because I don't have permissions to do that. There's a story I can tell. I know there's a story I can tell. So, talk about the stock market. No, you don't want me to talk about the stock market because the stock market's bullshit. The only reason the stock market matters is because people think it matters. Christmas plans. I plan to decorate. I haven't decorated for Christmas yet, obviously. But I need to figure out how to hang some garland on my wall. I'm going to try some, see if I can find some goodnight views, push pins, thumbtacks to use, because what I'm going to do because of the pets is I plan to put plan to take the garland and put it on the wall in the shape of a Christmas tree. And I kind of felt that with Sydney being the way he is currently, and the cats and everybody else, because Sydney's still chasing the cats, obviously. So this way I don't have to worry about an actual Christmas tree getting knocked over, but I still get something Christmas tree-like. I bought some of that garland that looks like fur. Not F-U. No, that's still not F-I-R, not F-U-R. Hey, Metastep. My good day was good, Joker. Thanks for asking. You can't talk common sense in somebody else, Faye. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, so I'm going to get the garland and put it up in the shape of a Christmas tree. That way I don't have to worry about the pets destroying it, but I can still get something that looks like a Christmas tree. And I haven't decorated in so many years. And it really is time to get back into it. I'm not sure I want to get a Christmas tree because I've seen how cats are with Christmas trees. Exactly. That's why my plan is to do the wall Christmas. Plus, there's not really a lot of space to put up a Christmas tree. And normally I have a black Christmas tree, which I love. But not a lot of space, pets. So I need to do something else. I am going to do the thing. And I just have to figure out how to attach it to the wall. That's the fun part. But yeah, so thumbtacks. I need to see if I can find some longer ones. Hello, sweetie. Apparently, oh,
Hello.
hi.
Did you not hear me?
I heard you.
Okay.
Could you hear my waterfall? Why does it have to be black? Well, that's why it has to be black. I like black. But no, I mean, I have a 5-foot tuxedo black Christmas tree. I really should have gotten. I thought about looking for some black garland, but you know, this was on sale and it's pre-lit, so I don't have to worry about trying to light it. So yes, black is back. So I don't have to saw that coming. You have your tree up? Congratulations. I hope it's doing well. I don't know why I also need to get the thing that allows me to hang the wreath on the door. Because we took that down and ooh, there's a kitty. I think that is that Luna? Can't tell. Probably. Oh yeah. Now she's cleaning herself. Okay, cool. Nothing quite like watching a cat go to clean itself in the middle of somebody else's chair, huh? But yeah, so other than that, I haven't really thought about what other decorating I'd like to do. The thing that hangs a wreath on the door is called a husband. I need one of those too. You know, you can do it without a husband. I recommend a wreath hanger. You can actually just put it over the back of the door and then you just put it on there. I mean, you can use a husband to do that. I only have a boyfriend, so I don't know that it operates in the same manner. You're about to pack a cone. Oh, enjoy Metastep. Now, for a second there, I thought you were meant ice cream, and I was trying to figure out why you were telling us about ice cream. I've been married before. I will do it again someday. Eventually. There are perks to it, for sure. But there are some difficulties if you don't find the right person or things come up. We have a problem today. She wishes to. Yes, someday I will marry Starsan. I will come. I will take her from Mr. Star, and she will be mine. Your daughter-in-law is currently using the facilities. She will return shortly, Diane. Thank you, dear.
You're marrying who now?
Can't I marry you both? I think he's jealous, Star. Sheep, you can be the side piece. That's too funny. You know, marriage gets a bad rap. The problem with marriage is that if you're going to do it, you have to commit to it. Too many people today are of the opinion that if it's not working, you can just leave. And if you plan to get married, you can't go in with that mindset. You can't marry somebody with that mindset. It doesn't work if you do that. Yep, marriage takes work. People expect it to be for all relationships, whether you get married or not. They take work. If you're going to be with somebody day in and day out, it takes forever. I mean, it takes work. You got to get up every morning and decide that you are going to work with that person to make your life together. You can't just expect it to work, because that's not how it works, as I say the same word 10 times. But it's not. Now, both people have to work. There's only one thing in this mortal realm that's perfect, and it's me. That, Rachel, is why you will never get married. Because nobody wants to marry perfection. Hi, DJ. Yep, even friendships take work. You know, Esteban, yeah, marrying quickly can be a problem, but there are people out there who married 2 weeks after they met each other and live married happily for the rest of their lives. And then there are people who date for 10 years, get married, and are divorced 2 years later. Do you really think you'd listen to me, Faye? Some people just don't listen. Okay, Madgen, you have to wake up at some point in the day, every day, and decide you're going to work with the other person. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the morning. But whenever you get out of that bed, whenever you crawl yourself out of that bed and decide to greet the day, whether it be in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, or even if you don't go to bed at all, you have to commit to working with that other person. You have to commit to working with your friends. You have to commit to working with even a relationship with your pets is work. If you even the relationship with your pets are work. You have to deal with that every day. You have to feed them and keep them alive and everything. I mean, that's why you sleep on the couch and not the bed. Problem solved. Doesn't solve the problem, Rachel. Just means there's no room for somebody else. I will get an auto feed here. I am, Faye. Yes, but then who's going to pick up the doggy poop in your backyard? And you still have to put the food in the auto feeder. And you still got to water the dog. Because they don't just live off food. They need water, too. There's no room for somebody else. Well, not with that attitude. I've seen it, and I agree. It happened with my parents out of marriages, and it's because they married too soon. Fertilizer. Well, I agree. Some marriages end because they married too soon, but today that doesn't seem to happen as much. A lot of people seem to have opted for the longer engagement. You know, you'll meet people who have been together for 10 years, and they'll ask, well, why aren't you married yet? And they'll just say they don't want to. Being married is a secondary thing, in my opinion. Married or not, sheep's stuck with me. He'll either die in this relationship, or I'll die. One of the two. Then he'll be free. If you like my humor or you feel sorry for me, check out my books. Yes, you should check out Rachel's books anyway. All right, Faye, it'll be a bit before I can read that.
Okay, so I have opinions.
She always has opinions, people.
Ew, how dare you?
But it's true.
Excuse me. How dare you accurately represent me on my stream? It's not very friendly. Also, there was an accident. One of the cats jumped at me, got powder all over me, and I was like, well, I can't wear this now. Bad part about black shirts.
Before we listen to her opinion, I do not believe the government should be involved in marriage. That's all.
I don't agree, but I will also tell you. So, hear me out. Hear me out, King Kai. I believe that is why. For instance, you were saying something about how, like, you know, people be dating for 10 years and they'll be all da-da-da-da, but then once they get married, they divorce. You know why? Because those people that dated for 10 years, I've met a lot of them, okay? And this is going to be into anecdotal evidence territory, but I digress. Every time I've met one of those people, the first thing they say to me is, "We don't need to get married. It's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper." And I know, honey, you got to wait till I'm off stream. But whatchamacallit, they say it's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. And I tell them it's not just a piece of paper. It legally binds you to somebody, okay? And a lot of them, once they get in, right? Once they get into a relationship like that and they see all these things, they believe that I've got you. There's no more work involved. And when they think it's just a piece of paper, these are the kind of people that don't share bank accounts. These are the kind of people that don't share a lot of information. They like the idea of having their own place besides where their significant other is. They're someone who typically doesn't trust a significant other. And usually they get married for some legal reason. Or because at that point they're like, oh, well, we might as well. Why don't we just throw the party? And they believe that the legalities of the marriage will suddenly fix any issues that might have gone wrong, any commitment problems they might have had. That's what I have found. Or they begin to sow distrust in each other, which is just such bullshit to me. And so that is why I find people who have been together a very long time but haven't gotten married, I feel they should either just stay that way and live in separate places or separate. Because at that point, you've waited so long for no other reason than because you believe, oh, well, the government's involved in this, that, and the other. I personally understand why the government's involved. I do. Because
they want money.
I agree to an extent. Because when legally you aren't bound, your loved ones get nothing. Your possessions, if you have any kind of inheritance, it's very difficult if you can't make a will or something like that to leave those to people. That's why it does make sense to me, because it does automatically take care of a lot of that stuff. You marry someone and then you have legal binding kids together, then a lot of that stuff gets passed on automatically to your spouse and to your kids. But if somebody dies, never mind. That is the sleigh bell sounds in the song. I thought I was hearing crickets and I was like, what the fuck? But never mind.
Wrong time of year for that.
We're not here for that. It's a matter of, I always tell people, if you feel it's just a paper, it's because you're afraid to be legally bound to somebody for the rest of your life.
Having done that before, in some ways, yes. Because it's very difficult to get out if you need to.
I don't disagree. at all. I agree that it is a very difficult process and it's even more difficult to escape from. However, hear me out again, if you're already living in the same house, if you already want to have all your kids together, if you do all those things together, you've already legally bound yourselves. Gotta go to bed. Good night, honey. I will look at the messages later and I will let you know what I'll send you some advice. Whatchamacallit though. I lost a train of thought. I saw that and I lost a train of thought. When you already have everything combined, right? You already have all these things together. You already want to share your life with them. If you broke up tomorrow, then you would have to go through the messiness of court. Who gets what? What is legally this? Who's is legally that? Who is the house under? Because the thing, if you're not married, but only one of you put the house in your name, the other one legally has to leave. Because there's no, it's a tenant situation. So you get served an eviction notice, you got to get kicked out. It's a lot more messy that way. It's like, did those trespass? Oh, that's a whole other thing. I don't think you know about. Did I tell you about this?
You told me about trespassers, but not if they ever came back or not.
So they didn't. You guys, if you were on my thing the other night, Diane, you're derailing me. Either way, before I get on, I'll tell you that story all in a minute, guys. They did not, Diane. Good thing they did not. I like that the government is involved because it adds a stage of seriousness to it. Because no matter what, there's always some higher authority over. Then, if there isn't a higher authority, then what's the point of it? You just pretty much say, "I'm married to this person." The next minute, I'm not married to this person, and there's no registry. There's no this. There's no that. Because if you do it through your church, you still face consequences if you get divorced. If you separate your marriage in a church, like for instance with Catholic churches, it is considered you have broken a vow from God. You're not allowed to take the Eucharist anymore. You have to sit down when they say certain prayers because you have been considered a sinner. You have been considered someone who has sinned against the Catholic Church. There are other things involved, but yeah, so it's like you face consequences. That I will tell you, I've never had a divorce in the Catholic Church, so I don't know what else the other punishments are, but I do know there's a couple of them. So it's like no matter what, you have to go through a higher power in order to declare that you're husband and wife. It's the ultimate commitment to each other.
I think part of the problem I have with it is, for one, the government, in that sense of a marriage, the government shouldn't replace church, which a lot of people use it in place of. And that's not a proper place for the government. It causes a lot of the issues we have today. There are points of secular society that end up replacing God with government, and that's part of why we have so many issues. My other problem is everything you mentioned can be solved other ways for reasonably low expenses and honestly less than a wedding. You can write a will, which is not expensive. You can actually do it for free. You can enter legally binding agreements with other people that will give you the same protections. About the only thing that you really have problems with, and again, the reason you have problems with them is directly because of the government, is getting on a significant other's health insurance. And I can't remember the other one right off the top of my head, but that's the big one, is the health insurances, because in many cases you have to be legally married to get on a significant other's health insurance. Now, if I'm paying for my health insurance, I should be able to put whoever the fuck I want on it, whether I'm married to them or not. That's my money. I'm spending it. I should be able to make that decision, not the government, not anybody else.
I personally have a weird view about it. I think adding someone onto your health insurance, the problem is, again, that legally binds them to you, and it makes them someone that you are. When you add someone to your health insurance, that creates them as a dependent on you. But if there's someone who doesn't live under you, they're not a dependent. So that's where, if they're not a kid of yours, they're not a spouse of yours. So I do get that portion of it.
But why shouldn't I be able to make that decision? Why shouldn't that be something between me and that person? Why does the government need to be involved?
Because again, if they are in your health insurance, but they're not your dependent, then that means if something goes wrong, you're not their guardian and you don't get to make choices about them, but you're the one paying for their health insurance. So that's where it kind of creates this weird, they already have, like, for instance, let's say it's a friend of yours, right? But they have a spouse, okay? They get in a car accident. Their spouse now gets to make the calls on what you pay for.
Not necessarily, because in the end with some of that, especially if you do things like power of attorney,
but then that's like
you have
now
right
you
to make
power
those.
Of attorney. It makes
Which,
it all messy on that.
It's not that messy. It's not that hard. Problem is most people are too lazy to do it.
To me, it's not about laziness. It's about, it seems very simple and cut until you start looking at all these different situations that happen every day. Like, I'm not even talking about something that would happen on a rare occasion. Car accidents happen every day. Motor vehicle accidents happen every day. And if you're adding random people onto your insurance, granted, you're paying for it. If someone else has to make the calls later, or maybe somebody can sue you later, say like, well, they took away my power of attorney for this, that, and the other. It just, to me, it seems like a lot messier.
And a lot of it would go away if you got the government out of it, because a lot of those issues that you see are government laws that create those issues. So
I'm working 53 hours for an undetermined time. The other guard got fired for sleeping at the front desk. She even had a pillow and a blanket.
Wow.
Does she? Does she understand what a guard is?
Apparently not.
She wasn't guarding Narnia. That threw me. I saw Patrol Time and I was listening, but I was like,
what? No, I read it too. Mad Gent works at a psychiatric facility as a.
Wait a minute. She was taking naps at a psychiatric facility?
Apparently. She needs help. Maybe she should be in the facility, not guarding the facility.
Oh my god. I like how you and I had the exact same idea. Like, maybe she needs to be there for a little bit of time.
I mean, honestly, if someone agrees to put you on their health insurance, there should be in that written out who makes the decisions at that point.
I agree, but then my question is, if you write out something like that, but this person also happens to have a spouse of some kind, you don't think that would get messy? Or they have kids?
But that's going to get messy no matter what in many of those situations, because more than often than not, the spouse and the kids may disagree on what they want.
But that's
health insurance
family unit. Now you're involving someone who's not even involved in the family. So now you're adding two other parties. You're adding you and your insurance company onto the spouse and the kids and the whole other family.
And if the spouse and the kids and that person that's on my health insurance all agree to it, then what business is it if everybody else is telling us no? If we're willing to fight with it, if we're willing to deal with it, what right does anybody else have to tell us no?
Because again, it prevents a lot of
because you don't think we know how to make our own decisions and you think somebody else has to do it for us.
I mean, it is you making your own decisions with
but you don't want us to do it.
But it's with your own family.
If someone else involves themselves into your stuff and everybody has sat down and agreed to it, why shouldn't they be allowed to do it?
I personally think it's still too messy because I think it just will end up happening.
But that means you don't do it then. Why shouldn't they be allowed to do it? I mean, I wouldn't do it either, but why shouldn't they be allowed to do it?
And I can actually show that in another way. That's like when people co-sign for a car. What's the first thing they'll tell you? Don't co-sign on a car. That's the exact same thing you're doing. And some people say don't do it. Why? Because it always ends up a mess. I know. I co-signed for someone's car. And it ended up being a huge fucking mess for me. And I did it for someone, everyone agreed. I did it for someone that I loved. Technically, I did it for his boyfriend. But it ended up being a huge mess down the line. I would never recommend it ever again.
No, you see, my uncle co-signed on my car, and that was fine for him.
But exactly. So you just proved my point. I did it for someone outside of my family. You did it for someone within your family. So it worked well for you. Didn't work well for me.
Doesn't mean, but just because it was outside your family, there are other people literally in my family I would never do it for because I know it wouldn't work out well. But in the end, as long as everybody's made the decision to go for and do that, if it fucks up, you're going to have to deal with those results no matter what. I have no right to tell someone that they should. I can recommend they don't. I can say, that's probably not a good idea, but I don't have any right to tell them that they can't, to stop them from doing it. That's not my place.
I know that's not technically how it works with insurance. I'm talking about just on a simple thing of when you have someone involved in your financial stuff, in the insurance stuff, in a legal way that is not family, it always ends up getting messy. And that's why they say those kind of things.
But even in family, it gets messy.
Well, yeah, of course it gets messy in family.
You have people on life support that shouldn't be on life support, or people who want to take people off of life support who can't take them off of life support. In the end, when it comes down to these things, it doesn't matter if it's family, not family, it's going to get messy at some point. And the fact of the matter is, nobody should be able to make that decision for them, but the people that have decided to come together and make those decisions.
But what I'm saying is but currently you can't put someone on your other policy, Mom.
No.
The reason why that's currently how it defaults is because that's how insurance defaults. But we don't know how it would if it legally suddenly became okay that I could just add horror onto my insurance tomorrow. We don't know how it would legally default because then I'm technically the power of attorney, or I'm the power of her insurance, or I'm the guardian or whatever, because I'm paying for her health insurance and she's under my hood. So again, you're kind of proving what I'm trying to say is that is where it becomes messy, because that default changes. Because then you might have to say, well, then I write them off of my insurance. I don't want to be part of this problem. I cut them immediately. And then what? Then again, it's stuff like that where...
Well, then it's just a different mess. I mean, in the end, if I agree to be on somebody's insurance and know that when I do that, yes, I'm giving you the power to decide if I live or die. I have made that decision. And you have agreed to go into that decision with me. So why should somebody else tell us that we're not allowed to make that decision? Just like it's like if Sheep and I decided to get married, why shouldn't we be allowed to get married just because one of us is black and the other one's white?
That's
Because they used to make that decision for people.
I agree. But there are no limits on marriage anymore. Well, can't marry your daddy. I mean, that's a different matter.
Well, that's only if you tell him you're his dad, but that's a separate issue. I mean, there are all sorts of things people do every day that I don't agree with, but at the same time, I don't feel that unless what they're doing directly impacts me, I have a right to tell them that they can't.
See, I feel like there should be laws in place for a lot of different things because, again, like we just said, incest. It isn't even just about whatchamacallit. It isn't just about you marrying your daddy. It's you might make children who have disabilities because of that union. So legally, you're not allowed to be married. As a result, you can do that thing together, but it's deeply frowned upon.
I'm 41 years old. I could make kids that have mental issues because of my age. Should I not be allowed to have kids?
It's a higher chance with incest,
but it's still a chance. Chance is a chance.
It's not the same idea though. That's a different thing entirely. That's like saying, well, then you want to fuck your brother, you want to fuck your sister, go right ahead. That's a different matter entirely.
I read a Reddit story about that. Oh my god.
Please don't.
Actually, it's kind of funny because the Reddit story. So this guy was adopted, moved out of this town, moved back, and met this girl. They fell in love. They get married. They have kids. And then she gets a kidney problem. And so the doctor asks him to get tested for, to see if he could donate the kidney.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the test. The doctor sits him down alone and says, when we do this test, normally people come up with, a certain level here. And above this one level, we kind of start to think that you're probably related. So you basically went over that level quite a bit. So we kind of think that might be your sister. And the guy's like, what do you mean? There's like no way. But he never knew his mom because his parents never met his mom. It was kind of a blind adoption thing. They took the kid and they left. And then he moved back to the same city. So, he's going crazy trying to figure it out. And he goes and talks to her parents, and it turns out that her father had been dating a woman previous to her mother, and he didn't know anything about that though. And so the whole thing wraps up. And it turns out that yes, in fact, her father was also his father. They were half brother and sister. They'd already had 2 kids.
And fun fact, this is a very common thing. Again, this is why it should be not legal. Apparently, people who are separated when they were babies and never knew their siblings and or family members, it's a very common thing that they end up dating and or marrying their sibling unknowingly. It's happened a lot in adoption, and she's holding back laughter. It's not funny, but it's funny.
I mean, it just goes to show that, when you have family.
All the family.
Family blood.
It's a big, loving family. We cuddle a lot. No. And that is actually not true, Mamarata. I've actually, until the kid is 27, if they're on the insurance holder is responsible for the bill. And it's actually the same with car insurance as well.
I wouldn't argue with my mother on this one.
I'm telling you, this is what I was informed.
This is what she's HR, and part of what she does is write the health insurance for her job.
I'm telling you what I was told and what I had to do when I was on my parents' health insurance. And this was till 27, because I've had all these kids come in and complain, I've got to pay my medical bills now because I aged out of my parents' insurance. Oh, I'm not allowed my parents' car insurance anymore because that costs them too much. It happens all the time. So I don't know if it's different in the different states. I don't know if it's because of the
Mm.
state you guys are in. Maybe it's that one. But I know that here and in Rhode Island, up till 27, the kids.
I know they can legally have you on their insurance until 27,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's quite the same. Mama pretty much is always right. I mean, there's very few people I will say, you because then she actually worked in car insurance previously. So when it comes to insurance, she's pretty well versed. If you have an insurance question, she's basically the person to ask.
I'm telling you what I was taught. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I was taught. Because when I started doing financing and insurance, that's what I was taught about it. Because when my mom did the loans, that was what I was learning about.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, you know what I don't want to do? Anything you're doing. Oh, yeah, because she was like, it's a very profitable job. I'm like, you know what? I am sure it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds great. Do you know what I am not going to do?
Any of that.
Any of that. My loan officer doesn't go through with it. My loan officer, she had to go, I don't know if you realize this. Probably your mom has to do it too. Whenever you do any of that stuff, you have to get recertified like every year. But not just in one thing. You have to get recertified in like 20 things. And you have to pay for all of it.
Mm.
And it goes like you never get out of college. And I'm like, why would I bother then? Why am I just work a retail job? Stay away from like it's just
Okay, apparently it does differ from state to state.
That's what I was trying to say. Like I know from where I'm from, it's totally different. So in your state, that is lucky for parents. Sadly, in Rhode Island, and I believe in North Carolina as well, is not the case. If you are the insurance policy holder, you have to put on the bill. I hated selling insurance. That's why I became an accountant. I'm sure Rhode Island laws suck. Rhode Island laws don't just suck. They royally suck. One of the reasons I left Rhode Island. Because it... Don't get me started on Rhode Island. Please don't. I miss my state every day. For numerous reasons. Then I look at my paycheck. And then I look at my house and I go, you know... I'm okay.
I live in a state I love.
I don't hate North Carolina. I genuinely don't. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. But I am not a North Carolinian. I am a woman who lives in North Carolina. But I don't feel any loyalty to it. Not like I feel more loyalty to Connecticut than I feel to North Carolina. If you're from New England, you know that's a big thing for me to say that. It's a really big thing for me to say that. And it's there's a lot of cool stuff to do here. I can afford to do stuff here, and I can live my life.
Yeah.
When nature tries to kill you here, it's hot most of the year. The beaches suck, and nobody can cook right.
I'm sure your boss will be thrilled to hear about that.
She's not from North Carolina. Whenever I say she's from Vietnam. So I moved to California from California, Tennessee. I am a Tennessee all the way. Listen, nobody would argue with you there, mad gentleman. Everyone would shed California if given the chance. But she lives in Montana. It's all
I love it here.
She's all beautiful mountains and pretty serene visions, and I've got two.
No sales tax.
She loved that one.
I love that one so much. There's nothing like going out into the store and it says it's $5.99, and you know how much I pay at the register? $5.99.
A 6?
Huh?
You don't give them 6?
Nope. I just give them $5.99. Fuck that.
Tennessee has the lowest tax burden, I'm pretty sure. No. Well, lowest tax burden meaning like total or sales tax?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm like, was it Vermont or New Hampshire? Which is the other one that has
For
no
what?
sales tax?
I think it's probably New Hampshire.
I feel like it's New Hampshire. No, I feel like it's Vermont.
I don't know.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
It's one of the redneck New England states. We don't look at them too hard.
I mean, our biggest problems is that we have high gas tax, and they did some stupid shit with our property taxes. And of course, we have fucking income tax, but working on it.
I have a question.
Hmm.
All right. This is one that genuinely confuses me. And you can also file bankruptcy on medical bills as often as you want, whereas other bankruptcies, right. Now supposedly that wasn't supposed to be
I came for the animals and I stayed for the tax.
Listen, sometimes we're giving love advice. Sometimes we're giving job advice.
For the record, we are not financial advisors.
At all. Listen, take it with a grain of salt. The only person legally allowed to give you any information is her mom, and she's only in the chat and only gets 2 sentences. So,
and she is also not a financial advisor. She's an accountant.
She can give you accounting advice, but not legally outside of her. I don't know. Just
well, she probably could, but she won't because she hasn't seen your taxes, and she's not going to put herself out on that line.
Get permission to move states. I see people do it here all the time. I mean, I don't know what we're talking about at this point.
We were about to talk about what was it? Tax burdens?
Okay, so you just reminded me. I don't understand why if I was a gas station owner, couldn't just charge $1 per gallon.
You don't understand that?
I don't understand. So apparently some gas stations have tried and they got sued. So
there's a combination of issues there.
Yeah. Can someone explain to me? My husband explained once and I said, it sounds fucking retarded, and I didn't listen after that. So,
okay. So the whole list of issues. First, you have to sell your gasoline for an amount that's going to make you a profit. Okay. Right now, I don't think $1 a gallon will do that. I would have what?
If enough people come, it could.
No, because if it costs you $2 a gallon to get it, and you're charging $1 a gallon, you're losing $1.
Sure.
But top it off, you have the normal taxes. You typically have the federal gas tax of 21 cents, plus whatever your state tax is.
Right.
So on top of that, even if you could sell your gasoline for, even if what you were getting it in was less than $1, you would still have to tack on at least that amount to be able to legally sell it, because you're going to have to give that taxes back to the government. Furthermore, these people don't just buy the gas from the company. They're usually like subsidiaries of whatever, like, Conoco. Okay, so it's like a Burger King can't sell a burger for less than what Burger King says they can.
Right.
It's the same thing at the gas station.
Okay, but then here's my question, because this is the one that fucks me up. So if you go, we'll use, if you go down Highway 1, not this, I'm just using it as an example. If you go down Highway 1, which is a mere half mile from Road 2, down Highway 1, all the gas stations are selling their gas at $2.50. Mm-hmm. But you go to Road 2, all those gas stations are selling their gas at $3.19. Same companies. Why?
Demand.
In a half mile, first of all. Second of all, why, if there are four, because usually you go to any area on a even minor town, you will find at least 3 or 4 gas stations in the same spot if they're off the highway. Why, if I am gas station A, can I not charge $2.50 if gas station B and C are charging $3?
Well, first, because each individual gas station doesn't get to decide their prices. That is done, again, at the corporate level.
I agree.
However,
those are private gas stations. Like in my town, a lot of them are private gas stations.
Okay. But then still, what they're doing is they're pricing for demand. So if you are closer to the highway, you are going to see a higher demand than if you are further down the highway. Mm-hmm. So you are at that point going to raise your prices because you know that you are going to go through it faster. whereas someone further down the highway can afford to sell at a lower price because they know it's not going to go out as fast. It's kind of like the idea of this is going to be a really interesting conversation to see how you react to this.
Because I have a question when you're done with that. Because so I will say that is not how it works in my town. On the highway, they're cheaper. Right off, we're talking like you're on the bridge at the highway. They're right there. They all cost more than literally a half mile down the road.
I could have it reversed in my head because I have a really hard time remembering which one to do.
That's fine. I'm just trying to understand it.
But so it's like, when a storm comes through and they do the what is it called? Crap. Price gouging. So you get a storm come through and then all of a sudden, a person at the gas station will start selling crates of water for more than they normally would. Now, a lot of people will get really upset at this. There's a good reason for it, actually, because part of what it does is it keeps people from overbuying. So it's more of it's there for everybody. And for two, because it's a finite resource, it's going to be worth more in that situation. So because in the situation where the gas is in more demand, well, actually, no, now that I realize I have it the other way around. It's probably the other way around, but yeah, that's the other problem.
Well, that's because at the end of the day, this is something I said to a lot of folks when they ask about America. I'm like, you have to understand, we may be all the same country, but we're not. We are 50 different countries.
Really, we are.
We call it states.
It's supposed to be.
And that is why everyone else gets mad about Trump for a few things, how he doesn't enforce stuff. I'm like, because he's doing what was supposed to happen with the federal government, allow the states to decide certain things, and they just have an overarching set of rules.
They're just supposed to do a limited number of things. So, right. Yeah.
And so I have no problem with that because just like what Mad Gentleman said, what you and I were talking about, why I'm no longer in Rhode Island, why you are in Montana, why people have left California to go to Tennessee. Because if you don't like what's going on in the state you're in, you can cart your sweet little ass somewhere else without having to do much of anything. All you got to do is get a new license and change your address. That's the only thing you have to do to say you are a member of a new town. You do a change of address at your old state, and you make sure to register your new address in your new state. I know, because I had to do it. And I will tell you right now, I much prefer that, because if you look at California right now, the poop map is a perfect example of why you probably don't want to be in California. And then on top of that, they just did Mark Rober, the dude that does the glitter bombs.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He did another glitter bomb set. And he said, like, we're talking like people were leaving their car within a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Cars getting robbed.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes, these cars are getting broken into. And that is because there are well-known black markets for stolen items everyone knows about. Normies go and shop at. They know they're buying stolen items and they go and do it anyway. You have people who don't get charged for crimes, don't go to jail, have no punishment. There is no retribution for their bad actions. And so this is why, even though I don't like that it's happening, this is my vindictive side. I kind of like that it's happening. Because you know what? I can say, I told you so. That is what all your policies are doing. And you know what? This is how I know the tides are changing. Mark Rober, I believe his name is, he's a pretty left-wing, very well-known YouTuber. A lot of the YouTubers he associates with are very left-wing. You go into those comments that we're talking about, why they needed the glitter bombs and all that, and a bunch of that. And this was just in the last 10 minutes. If you look at the top comments, the old comments, they all say the same thing. Democrat-run cities, lib policies. This is what happens when you don't charge criminals. Same offenders over and over. And, this is why I know horror doesn't agree with me on it. Horror is ANCAP. I'm not. And it's okay. We can live in harmony. And
We agree on more things than we realize. It's just the problem is I don't believe the government should be the one in charge of it. I do believe there should still be rules. I just don't necessarily agree with who's setting them.
right. But then I always sit there and maybe it sounds like a gotcha, but it's more like to me, well, then if it's not them, you're just setting up a mini government, which eventually would come into a bigger government anyway. So it's like, what's the difference? We already have these elected officials. Might as well use them.
Because they suck.
I don't disagree. They suck. In my personal opinion, I think what's a big change, I think everyone, even ANCAPs would agree with, is if we had a complete overhaul. Not that it would ever happen. It's a beautiful wish. If we could get a complete overhaul of Congress and of Senate.
I want what they have in Argentina.
With the president, that new guy.
I want him. I want him so bad.
He's so crazy.
He's amazing. He got on his first day in office. They went from 21 ministries to 9.
He chopped some shit off.
Oh my god.
He chopped some shit. Man, I don't think she's even got that reaction lately. Wow.
Nope.
Well, baby, if you ran for president and got rid of all the taxes,
someone has to go take over Argentina now, it seems.
No.
Make America Argentina.
I'll tell you right now, that man is nuts, but I agree. I like him a lot. In my opinion, what I really wish we could do is bitches like Schumer and Pelosi. I feel that we should have the same term limits on them that we did on the president. There's nothing.
Here's my term limits with that.
What?
You could get rid of them right now if people would stop being stupid.
I don't disagree. But then we just fight it. What happens? We vote in some new assholes that seem great for a while, but then they stay there for 15 to 20 years, and then they get corrupt because
that's the stupid part. Is because even with here's the really stupid part. Even with those term limits, all you're going to do is speed up the process. They're just going to get corrupt faster. And then you're going to get corrupt people in there right away, and it's all just going to go to shit. It's not going to make that much of a difference until people stop saying, maybe if we just vote for the right person and actually stop being retarded, we'd be fine. But no, people are stupid.
But see, that's why I believe, because think about it. The only vote that everyone pays attention to now is the president. Let's be honest. Where's the tax money?
That is a failing of the education system directly set up by the Department of Education.
I don't disagree. I agree completely that our education system is shite. I 100% agree we need to get complete overhaul. I have ideas about that as well. That being said, a lot of people pay attention to it because it's the one where we see the most immediate change.
Except you don't really.
You think about it. That's how they see it. And you're talking about the corruption, right? Oh, we'll get them corrupt quicker.
Oh no, I'm talking about the fact that when it comes to president, he has the least effect of your life of anybody.
I agree, but listen, let me get there. The reason why they're able to be corrupt is because you get the whole little underlings that have been there for 20, 30, 50 years that set up the railway for it because they're there to be a long time to do it. We take away that from them. And I have my other idea, and this is one that I know they wouldn't like, and I know it's a pipe dream beyond pipe dream. I feel that no member of Congress or Senate yearly salary should be more than the minimum household income of their area.
But the problem is more importantly than that, because even now they're making 100 something a year at the most. I think it's 173 if I remember correctly, but I think they just got a raise too. But where they make their money isn't there. It's the trades that their family does because of the information they have while they're, passing these laws and stuff. And let's not even get started on the central banking system.
There's a whole and I agree, but see, now that one I don't understand. I'll be the first to say it. I have a most basic understanding, but not a massive one. I cannot. Hey, fucks. Hey, young.
How you doing?
But whatchamacallit? As for the tax advice, You have to go to the state where yes, I agree. I feel that lobbyists should go away. I don't think we should allow lobbyists anymore. I think that we should get rid of lobbyists completely.
I think they just end up being a different thing, because all lobbyists really are a group of people who've gone to whatever senator and said, we would like this. Here's money if you would like to do this for us.
Right.
It would just turn into something else. I mean, it's one of those things that realistically, by definition, you're not going to get rid of entirely, because otherwise, how are we going to tell her? I mean, at that point, if I go and ask my senator to please stop voting for these stupid things that keep us in these unnamed wars because Congress has seceded its declaration of war power to the president, that's lobbying.
I would say, if you're gonna be a lobbyist, you can't be for like a big company, like the milk lobbyist or the egg, like, you know, shit like that. It sounds really simple in terms. Then you find out these are people that get all these big contracts and shit like that. I have been privy. For instance, I can't say them legally. I'm not allowed to say it. But my father has told me about big contracts that have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'll say. And it's insane. It is insane what is not allowed, what they'll allow through. Morning, and let's.
He has a good reason for it. Dolphins are evil.
I said earlier, South Carolina pulled funding for Disney Florida. Why is the state paying? Yeah, exactly. The state shouldn't be paying anything to Disney. Disney
should be laundering money.
Logic is sound. Can't get rid of cheerleaders, lobbyists. One can remove all memory of such things to just regrow. That's not a lie. That's not a lie. Although I'm still trying to figure out why we doing this.
Because dolphins are evil. Dolphins can commit all sorts of evil things. Most specifically, that one thing that I'm not allowed to say because we're on YouTube.
Snuggle with the struggle.
Yes, that one. And then they use other creatures for their own pleasure in many different ways.
But so do walruses and seals.
Well, that's not nice.
Otters, and so do orcas.
They're all evil, yes.
Why don't be mean to the dolphins? I don't want them in tuna cans. No, La Luna, we don't want that.
No, Dave is actually a biologist, so he's studied a lot of that stuff, and for some reason he's picked the dolphins specifically to be very angry at. We had an interesting conversation where he came up with a whole story lore behind it, and I do think he should write that book. That would be an entertaining book.
I definitely think the title alone would get it bought.
Let's kill the dolphins. Yeah,
kill the dolphins. Right? It's gonna hit the shelf.
It'll fly off the shelf. People are like, "What the fuck is this guy on about?" And then they'll read it. What the fuck?
Wait, Dave, I put a tuna can on the front. Just kill the dolphins. Just a tuna.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Little AI version. Genetically re-engineered dolphins. Just not in the dolphin pool house. What? They use the sometimes. Yes, they do. Very much do.
They use pufferfish. They do all sorts of really bad things.
And they help fishermen.
Yes, but they do the other things more.
Orcas are nothing but giant dolphins. I don't hear you say kill the orcas.
I'm sure I'd say that too.
Just hate them, my poor little bottle noses.
Yoshi
have a car battery in the tree.
Well, that's how you recharge the eels, don't you know? You throw your used car battery in the ocean.
That just reminded me. Have you ever seen Finley?
No.
If you guys have not, it's a short movie on YouTube. It's a horror movie. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up real quick. You remind me of because of a thing that happened during it, and it's so. If I can play it on. Finley, come on. I'm gonna make it silence that way.
That's how the fish charge their phones. Yes. It's important for the fish to have good phones.
That's why we use the. Come on. Piece of
There's
shit.
a rabbit hole where some questionable science took place with dolphins, where investors were paid. Oh yeah, to turn a house into a pool house. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember who did it specifically, but they took a bunch of LSD and he was trying to see if he could interpret the dolphin sounds. Yeah, I remember that.
They made babies, or they tried to make babies.
With
The
the dolphin.
government
Yes.
terminated it. So this is Finley. My husband's laughing in the other room. So that's Finley right there. And I watched a short of it earlier and trying to find. Here it is.
Okay.
I'm trying to see where the part is where it's actually moving. Where is it? Here it is.
Oh god. Not plugged in. Oops. Crap.
And that's what made me think of it. If you haven't had the chance, guys, watch this. It's the funniest thing. Like, it's bad. It's so bad. Finley keeps failing at trying to kill them. And oh, this one was hilarious. Rat poison.
Right there in front of her.
And she goes, little shit's trying to poison us again.
Poison the food again.
And they spray him away.
That's too funny.
And
That's hilarious.
And so if you guys just want to have a good laugh, it literally brought me to tears when I saw that. He's a failed Chucky. Yep. At one point in the movie, they roast him. Like, they're making fun of him over it. Like, they're trying to stab something and fail, and they go, oh, it's Finley, it's Finley. And he's sitting there like, it's so bad. And so it came out apparently like 3 years ago. And it's so bad. I just had to show you this.
That's funny.
After hearing the car battery in the ocean, I was like, oh, Finley.
You should part of Dave's lore there he just put in the chat.
Let me see. The Yugoslav wars were not between Balkan states. It was a war between humanity led by the Holy Serbian people and the Dolphin Menace. You know, he had me. He had me. I was like, oh, okay.
He's Serbian.
She knew.
I told you it was part of his lore.
It's definitely lore. I've got Luna sitting over here on my markers. I don't know if you can see the top of her head. Yep.
Well, while you were gone, she decided to jump up in your chair and clean herself. Yeah.
Why are you not being a lady? You were cleaning your nethers for the whole of YouTube to see?
Yeah. If the camera had been just a little lower, you could have called a show. Instead, all we see is her head, her legs poking up in the air, and you see her head moving.
Well, she's so small. Like, Luna, come here. Come here.
This isn't lore, it's the truth, and you can't handle the truth. All right, Cuba.
Listen, you show me the photos of that war, and I'll believe it. Pixar's not real, bro.
Get to drawing.
Right? Oh my god. Please, for the love of God, do a stick drawing. Like, look how small she is. Like, she's the same size as Dante. She was around when Bastion was around. And yeah, she's got some kind of swelling going on. Like, her tongue constantly hangs out. And I keep telling Ray, we got to get her to the vet because my ass can't afford it right now. She got some right here. So I don't know if it's a cyst that developed out of stress. She's certainly happy now. Huh. What's sad is that holding her like this, she kind of looks like Zorro for a minute. And that was the thing that caught me off guard the most, you guys, when I had her in my house, is that seeing her run around, it gives me a second. Like, I have to take a second to realize, oh, that's not him. That's not him. What do you want to do? What are you going to do? You going to go that way? Yeah? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Dave, you are very dangerous.
They go, wait, I don't want to own that book. You're giving me ideas. Hard didn't tell you that it can be dangerous to give me ideas. Listen, if there are not crayons involved, they better be Crayola. Don't you use no crazier rose art on me. I demand the highest quality wax. But they better be detailed. Oh my gosh. No, I don't know. I think I had other animal stuff, but there was something I wanted to go over last week. And I don't think
Did you tell me what it was? I don't think so.
No. There was something I wanted to cover, I think. Because we just we were like ships passing in the night, me and this woman. We just didn't feel good. And with all the shit happening back and forth and it being the holiday season. Wait, what did he say now? I use the bootleg Chinese ones with the built-in cancer. I am Serbian. We have no Crayola. We eat the leg of the boot.
Dave's a great guy.
I can't. That's too much.
He's one of my diehards. I mean, I wonder if I should have that somewhere. I should be able to show you that.
What, he sent you a doll?
No. He drew something for me, and it is one of the most amazing things ever, in my opinion.
What exactly did he draw? I'm getting an idea of the kind of artwork probably that comes out of him. I'm getting.
Oh, is it on my phone? I might. Oh, I know. I know. I can send it from my phone. I'll do that.
She's gonna send it, and then we're gonna share it.
It's one of the best things. I mean, I asked him for something special one day. And he definitely lived up to it.
He delivered.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, S-Mom. We're going to go to bed soon, too, because it's already almost, well, for me, it's almost 2 a.m. For her, it's almost midnight, I think.
Yep. Problem is it's way down there. Hold on.
That's what he said. What?
Where's my downloads folder?
Good night, Esteban. I have all the art I did for you. Hard. He already has it, honey. He saved it. Do you want to just?
I have it too. I'm trying to get it where I can share it because, I know it's in here, and I know I've downloaded it recently. If you just want to send it to me, Dave, real quick in Gilded, that might be faster. I'm going to keep looking until that time. Unless you sent it to me on Gilded before. I know you'd sent it to me on... Oh, I think I already have it in Discord. I should be able to find it in Discord.
Also, I stand by what I said with this photo horror. That's a Karen haircut.
Yeah. He kind of is a Karen. I mean, he really is.
He wants to know which one you're talking about.
I don't want to give it away what it is. But
I can talk, I swear.
The one on your shirt.
But what shirt is he wearing, Horror? And how do you know what shirt he's wearing?
He knows what I mean.
Are you a dolphin too?
Maybe. Are you?
I've called my people.
They're coming to get you, Dave.
Look out.
I know you know.
They're coming. Do you know I used to do that when so when scammers would call me, I'd answer the phone, I'd just start cacking like a dolphin. Like as loud as I could until they'd hang up.
Oh God.
Strangely enough, I don't get a lot of scam calls anymore.
Crazy how that works.
Sometimes the rooster crow really works well. So moral of the story, kids, learn how to make barnyard and animal sounds, and then they'll think you're too crazy to try to take your money. Although I've probably done it to a bill collector at least once or twice.
They deserve it too. Bill collectors aren't nice people.
Bro, one of them literally told me because I lived in Rhode Island, I should already make plenty of money, so I shouldn't need to do anything but pay off. Are you ready for this? It was a Bally Total Fitness. And I got lied to saying it was no contract,
Mm-hmm.
but it turned out to be a contract.
Of course.
And mind you, this was my friend's husband. He lied to me. And so at the time I was unemployed and I'm like, I'm not even going. I said, this is stupid. I'm not using the services. I no longer want the services. And so, fun fact, guys, this is not financial advice in any way. However, it is a service you can do. You can tell your bank they are not allowed to give money to any company you desire. If you have any kind of automatic payments or withdrawals, you can literally tell your bank you are not allowed to give my funds to them.
Okay.
Now, that is not legal advice. However, that's what I did at Bally Total Fitness. And then, during the middle of the recession, while I'm trying to get married and then move, what in the hell?
It's my squid pony. Isn't it just the greatest thing?
I love the throbbing veins.
Right? I love the mouth underneath the tentacles there.
It's so happy.
Isn't it?
My only complaint is it lacks eyelashes and it's a bit of a Hitler hair going on. But beyond that, that's personal preference. But I'm liking the demonic laugh.
Right?
You clearly see it happening. And I'm really fancying that.
It is amazing. It is one of my favorite things in the world. I'm not even kidding.
So why do you not have that on a sticker in a shop?
Open the browser and zoom in. Hold on.
Should I exit out?
Yeah, please.
I don't know what to call them. I know what it is. A little tube that octopi use to spurt water out so they can swim. They're both valid words.
I mean, he should know. He's a biologist.
Matt's trying to say that it's only octopuses, not octopi. Siphon, thank you. For fuck's sake, I couldn't think of it.
Nope, that's not the one.
Luna, why are you back there?
There we go. That's bigger. And I've got the other one of the other ones he did for me that I'm going to share because I think this is so cute.
He's very talented.
He is. He is amazing.
And, see, now I can see there's more hair and a lot more throbbing veins. And zoom in.
Oh, wait, let me zoom in further. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to see the mouth. The drool.
Yeah, I mean, the detail on it is top notch. He did a fantastic job.
Do you do art for as a biologist, Dave? Like, is that something that's part of your repertoire?
I'm gonna share you this one he did for me.
I don't know. I've never seen this art before. This art's new to me. I didn't do it yet. So you're going to be a biology artist. What?
He did that. It's great. It is so freaking cute.
I love the cheesy smile.
Yeah. And the cute
You know, you
little.
should get that made, right?
Yeah.
Like, you should get that sweater commissioned
Oh
somewhere.
my God, that would be great.
I could be if I had time. Well, I mean, couldn't that be your biology job? That is precious.
I know. I wish I. Do you still have the one of Ryan? She doesn't know who that is, but that picture's awful enough. Everybody should see it.
I generally know that name. Is that somebody from Geeks and Gamers or what?
Yeah, yeah.
You guys like type out the same names all the time. So I know that you're talking about somebody. And I know that it's either going to be about the Rippaverse, Geeks and Gamers, or Nerdrotic. So I just got to pick out one and hope for the best.
Yes, definitely send me Ryan Cat because that one, oh my God, the detail on that.
What are you doing, Lalo?
There's a running meme that Ryan is a hairless cat.
I feel like it's making fun of the poor hairless cat. I mean, sure, sad Ryan too, but poor kitties.
Oh, Ryan deserves it. He asks for it.
What's a pretty girl to do? What's a pretty girl to do? Hola, Luna. Hold on. Since we're sharing.
I really
What-
should download these in their own folder.
Why haven't you, woman?
Because I'm
Lazy.
that too.
You are such a needy girl. What the hell?
What?
Apparently, I decided to click on my Da Vinci. Weird.
Well, he's getting that one. I'll show you this one. He did this after Boris and Sydney were born.
Oh,
Because they were both basically
the yin
opposites
yang.
of each other. Yeah.
Hold on, let me exit out of that so I can share it. So cute.
I already got it up. So, yeah.
Look at that, guys. Here, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys the really cute pupper that showed up in my house earlier today.
But yeah, Dave is an amazing artist. Absolutely. Oh, what a sweetie.
He was so cute, intact. Pissed all over
Oh,
my
dear.
little pillars.
Of course.
He was so cute. And like I said, he kept trying to sniff my face. Like, just how stinking cute is that?
I'm very proud of you, though.
For not taking him?
Yes. I'm very proud of you.
It's the first thing I thought is like, I thought to myself, is there anywhere I can stick this dog where he's safe? Nope.
Nope.
So I just took photos. I posted him on the appropriate yard sales. And oh la Luna, she's getting belly rubs right now. She's very happy. Whatchamacalls it? Because that's why I want the kennels though. Like my hope is
Mhm.
eventually to get kennels on my property. So that way I can, if this happens in the future, I can take said dog, stick him in one of the kennels that'll be a heated and or air conditioned with water and food and a bed, and the dog will be safe, and then I can contact a rescue. And wow, you just got so bright.
Yeah, it's because the background's white. Hold on.
Are you enjoying your belly rubs, young lady?
So this one's just nightmare fuel.
Oh God. Oh God. What am I looking at?
You're looking at Ryan as a hairless cat.
It's the titties for me.
Yeah, no, look further down.
What the titties and the balls?
Yeah, he definitely has a talent.
For titties. I like how he still made them nicely shaped, even though they're on a dude. Like they're still properly shaped boobs. Actually, I think we might take it down because those are nudie boobs. Hold on.
Yeah, those are pretty pretty
I
iffy.
wasn't thinking about it until I was like, wait a minute, boobs. And 6 of them. Like, there's quite a few. Well, are you happy?
But yeah, it's pretty great.
That's a talented man. Don't mind me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being typical millennial. And I'm taking pictures of a cat. Do you hear about the guy that he was in police pursuit? He was getting chased down by the cops. Ask me what stopped him.
A cat?
He stopped to pet a cat while the police were in active pursuit.
Sounds like me when I'm playing a video game.
I said literally because my dad was like, "This guy's so pathetic," and I said, "Dad, you understand that would be me, right? Like
Right.
I would feel so guilty. This cute little kitty wanted me to pet it, and I was running from the cops. Easy pick,
Right.
easy selection. What la luna? I hate how stinking cute this cat is. She's always been really cute. So
And Dave would do the same thing. Dave, as a biologist, he actually adopted a kitten. It was a year or two ago, I think it was.
What's the name of the kitten?
What did you? I think it began with an H. It was something German. Hans.
Please say it's Hans.
He also has a spider.
Huh?
He also has a spider.
What kind?
He would have to tell you that because you know me.
If it's a jumping spider, I don't judge. If it's any other kind, I judge. I just do. It's the way I am. What, baby girl? Oh. I'm waiting. I want to hear what Dave's got.
Yeah. He'll tell us in a second. YouTube has to catch up to him. He's all the way in Serbia.
Hans.
Yes,
I
Hans.
see Hans. I have a pink toe. It makes it sound so cute until you look at it and you realize it's not even pink. It's like an off orange, like maybe coral at best. Jumping spiders for the win. Exactly.
I don't even like those.
I like that they acknowledge you.
She's cute.
She is cute. She is splat. I mean, eventually she'll be splat. Don't let her anywhere near horror.
He knows better.
Well, thankfully, it's all the way in Serbia.
Right.
What, baby?
It's actually quite brightly colored.
Jumpers are amazing, and I do have a photo of one. Hold on, I'll send it to... Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, he likes to do it. He likes fucking with me.
Lord Almighty. Out here trying to torture my woman. But yeah, I was very proud of myself as well. I've been offered cats. Matter of fact, there was a really cute, and I mean really cute, flame point Siamese.
Oh.
Needed immediate rescue. Every fiber.
Get the house first.
I already technically have it.
Wait until it's actually done.
Don't logic me. I don't like that. That's his?
That's what they look like.
Oh, I was going to say that one is very vibrantly colored. See, the one I was thinking of had different colors to it. It's rather small for a tarantula.
Oh, he sent some other pictures too. So we're gonna stop
Send all
sharing
the stuff
that.
on Discord.
Hold on, I'm just gonna share the Discord because now with all the pictures in it, you can't see any information.
Let's see.
He made a Jeremy Killick croc here.
That's nice.
And this was something, he made this. It was really cool, I thought. Just ignore that.
Yeah, keep your mouse right there. It's really crazy.
Wrong button.
I actually made a similar image once. I got to show him that.
And that's his picture of a jumping spider.
See, I wouldn't want one. Jeremy went from a snake to a croc. I would not want a jumping spider, but I can understand why they would be the ideal pet. Voila, Luna.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. What?
No jumping spider.
Oh, I thought you like saw something. Went nope. No, I can see why they make ideal pets in terms of insect. They're like the only insect that knows you exist. Most of them don't care enough. They don't like that's something where I don't know if we've talked about this. I get really bothered when people are like, "Oh, my snake knows who I am." My this you're expecting them to develop a need to bond with you that they don't even need for their own existence. And that's something where I just find a lot of humans really don't understand that. You have to breed that into them over generations and generations and generations. And if they are not already predisposed to it, like the way so bearded dragons, tegus, some forms of gecko, and I believe chameleons, they can bond to other members of their species. Hence why they can bond to a person. Not just them, iguanas as well. These are all reptiles and lizards that require bonding in their society. So they've developed the need for that. So they can then bond to you. There is no snakes that bond to each other. They might be a social group where they live together, but they don't care about it like that. Like they don't care who's in the bonded group. They just all chill.
Mm-hmm.
You sitting there saying, "Oh, my snake knows me. My snake understands me." No. Your snake just recognizes the scent over time and tolerates you. You're formulating a plan.
No, I'm reading what Dave said because,
Oh.
like I said, he's the biologist, so he has information on keeping jumpers and.
Is if you need to keep fruit flies to feed them, yeah, and they live for a very short time. Yeah, I think from what I've seen, jumpers can live a maximum of 3 years. Because I've seen there's this lady on YouTube, and she has like 1 billion spiders. She does her own spider enclosures and does all that stuff. And one of the reasons why I don't understand it is because, so yeah, tarantulas can live a long time. But she's got like black widows. She's got, yeah, like, now I will grant this. Aesthetic wise, it is cool to see in a coffin shaped plastic thing and all gothic stuff, a black widow sitting there. If we're talking tarantula cat, I think that is her. It is cool aesthetically, speaking purely from a picture point of view. As a daily basis thing, I don't understand it. As a everyday, yes, this is my pet. It just, I never enjoyed the idea of keeping a pet purely for my own entertainment. And people are like, well, every pet's like that. I'm like, it's not. For instance, this little shit is clearly enjoying attention from me right now. She could leave at any time. She could move away. She is enjoying the attention. Do you want your belly rubs again? Yeah, you do.
And more importantly, she's also useful.
She is useful because she's a very good little hunter. Most of the cats I keep on my house. Matt is now in the bathroom and she wants to see what's going on. So she has now abandoned her post of belly rubs.
Though, according to Dave, tarantulas apparently bond.
I will tell you, I have watched ample videos of people who keep tarantulas, and the amount of times the tarantulas go to attack people just from opening their little crates, and the amount of times tarantulas will bolt says otherwise. It's one of the reasons why I don't like most people keeping fish unless you have a very large enclosure. Like, you have to have ample room. Like, if I'm going to get a betta, the betta's going to go in a 5-gallon at least. And if you're going to get a bird, I don't believe you should own many other pets. I believe you should have just the birds and they should have free reign of your house. Because that is an animal, especially birds that are so highly intelligent, it just, they go insane.
He sent a picture of his tarantula.
She got a red booty.
And a little bit of blue.
Now, is she close to molting, Dave? When was her last molt in this photo? Because, like, I don't know. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, Har. I am getting tired, so I'm getting a little more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Apparently she just molted a month ago.
She just molted a month ago from that photo? Whatchamacallit, though? Because usually they're brighter the closer to molt, and they're brighter closer after a molt, and they're duller closer to doing a molt. Whatchamacallit. But I just don't believe in keeping pets for the sake of just, I really think it's cool. Because, like, a lot of people think a Doberman's cool, or a lot of people think that a Malinois is cool. And even though I recommend people owning dogs, I don't recommend everyone owning those dogs.
Especially not a Malinois.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, well, I think the tarantulas are really cool. Yeah, I just took the photo and I was taking it through a web-covered pane of glass. Right. Whatchamacallit. So that's why, for me, it's like the people who keep venomous snakes.
Nope. No thanks.
Unless you're a registered milking facility, or like you do it to monitor snakes so that people can milk them, I just don't understand it. The snakes certainly aren't happy. Even if you keep them in a big enclosure, they're not happy. It's just,
To be fair, I don't think the milked snakes are particularly happy. I mean,
agreed, but at least it serves a purpose. Like, you're not doing it just for, like, oh, I really like them. It's this is going to save someone's life kind of situation.
Yeah.
So that's why, for me, I'm very weird about pets. I have very controversial views. A lot of folks don't like my ideas about what is good and bad pet ownership. Because I feel that, for the most part, most hamsters and gerbils don't bond with people either. I think that owning a chinchilla is kind of wrong, because chinchillas are so delicate. And a lot of them die being a pet just because they can't handle the stress of it.
My mom actually had a whole bunch of chinchillas.
Your mom is very
Growing
responsible,
up.
though.
She actually carried one around in her pocket all the time.
If something is for a higher, holier purpose. Actually, yes. Like, it's the case. Just like, I can't sit there and say that milking snakes is wrong, but doing scientific experiments to further medical advances on rats is right. So if I'm okay with doing that to rats to further medical advances, I'm okay with doing milking snakes. But that's why I'm saying, if you just keep them purely so you can say, I own a cobra, I own a boomslang.
Rats apparently make really good pets.
They make fantastic pets, and they bond really well. It's actually very sad, because they're one of the more intelligent creatures. Like, they rank high up there in intelligence, but
Yeah.
they don't have very long lifespans. So, like, octopus technically have a long lifespan if they make no babies, right? Rats, no matter what, maximum they live 5 years. Max. Most of them only live 3 years. But then you look at birds, dogs, cats, you look at pigs, you look at a lot of the other higher intelligence animals, and they have decently long lifespans. At least 8 years, and potentially up to 25 years, depending on the animal. Dolphins can be good pets. No. You are there. My aquatic brother, the time is risen. For your information, Dave, just because I've hollowed out the entirety of my 2 acres of land, and there is currently a pod of dolphins living underground, doesn't mean you gotta judge us. I didn't do that. I rescued them from Uncle Sam. Thank you. That's why I have to buy the land. Save my dolphins. God almighty. No, but that's like a lot of people don't like that I say that. Well, what's wrong with me wanting to own this? And like I have friends who truly believe that you should be able to own any animal you want. And I do not agree. I don't agree on any level because just because you can doesn't mean you should. And it's like assholes that sit there and go, well, I should be able to own whatever I want. And then they go out and they own a tiger or a bear or some other exotic that they can't control.
Then they get it.
And then it gets out and it bites somebody and then the animal gets put down. Or my favorite, they never feed it right. All these people, I can get it. Yeah, but then you got a tiger who weighs 110 pounds with bone density issues and teeth falling out.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, well, you can do that to a cat. Yes, but I can give the cat to someone who knows what they're talking about. I can't just take your tiger and rehome it to another person down the street.
No, that's much rougher.
A little bit. But that's my rant on that. As for dolphins, as long as you've got the appropriately sized tank,
you can have a dolphin.
You can have your dolphin. I guarantee there's at least one person out there in America that has a whole ass private tank.
Oh, I'm sure. Probably more than one.
I would not be surprised at all. But I don't know about you, sister. I am getting a little loopy tired.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap up.
I think so too. So let's put the condom on and you start us off.
All right. So I will be on the midweek hump on Wednesday. On Thursday, I will be reading. I don't know if I will be reading Fables or Lovecraft or if I'm going to look for some Christmas stories. I think I might go out and look for some Christmas horror stories to read.
Krampus. Do Krampus.
I can probably do that. There's some really good stories out there.
Hi,
for that. And then, yeah. Friday night, I will be playing some kind of video game, or I might just do another hangout night like I did last week. I'm 50-50 on that. You're not saving dolphins. You are giving them a landing for their invasion.
My aquatic brethren wish to become land-bound. They will grow their legs, and you cannot stop us, Dave. Their blowholes will be replaced by proper lungs, and then we will shop.
I will have to send that to you. He sent me something that you have to translate. You can Google Translate, but it's a song. It's hilarious.
It's about dolphins.
Yes, it's about dolphins. Saturday night, there's a chance I may not stream Saturday because I have to do some labor earlier in the day and I may not be able to physically, but we will see when we get there. If I am, I will be playing Neverwinter Nights with Darylyn, Sheep City, and Robust. Sunday, I will be doing some kind of stream. I don't know what kind. But on Monday, I'll be back here with Starsan, and we'll hang out and talk about animals and taxes and laws and stuff like that.
Also, the human animal and the animal.
Yes. And also, I was on the 8750 podcast with Yeti F just this last week. We recorded. The first episode is out. So just go on to your favorite podcast streaming platform and type in 8750 and you can hear me and Sheep talk about the morality of dolphins.
Also, while we will be on next Monday, the Monday after it won't be on because that's Christmas.
Yep.
Or is it Christmas? Whatever it is. Yeah, December 24th is Christmas. December 23rd is Christmas Eve.
No, the 24th is Christmas Eve. The 25th is Christmas.
Listen, I'm having a moment. I am loopy right now. It's all hell.
Yeah, you are.
It's also because I'm slightly dehydrated, guys. She knows why, but I've had a rough day. Okay, so, anyways, aside from me and my dolphins arising from the ashes to conquer the land, we'll be coming for Serbia first. We're gonna leave America alone for a bit. I've got some videos coming out this week. I'm going to be talking about Tess Holiday. Going to be talking about glitter and lasers. I'm going to try to get a couple of videos out. Guys, my shirts are available. I am going to be posting some other ones soon. Just got to decide what I want to do about it. So everything is sized up. I will say it's very comfortable. It's sized up to 5X. Most of them are 100% cotton. I think the Heather blends are a polyester blend. They're very nice. I should be on tomorrow unless my problems persist. And then you'll see me next Sunday with the girls from Mother to Smothered, unless we once again all get sick at the same time. Or, yeah, we all had tummy problems the other night. And then next Monday, you'll see me here with this lovely lady. And we will talk about humans, non-humans, all that jazz.
Furry, fuzzy, and frustrating.
Exactly. Well, remember, guys, remember to get your animals spayed and neutered. Remember to tell the people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. So, Horror,
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
Be safe.
Yes, you be safe too.
Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.